All right, the Hello Hallmark podcast, episode 1. We're doing Moonlight in Vermont, released in 2017.
So the synopsis is provided by Google. We have Fiona, a New York City real estate broker, retreats to her family's quaint Vermont inn after being dumped by her boyfriend, Nate. When Nate shows up at the inn with a new girlfriend, Fiona devises a plan to win him back.
Are there any recognizable names in the cast? Is there anybody who is
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
who is it?
I think that one name that may come to mind when we think of a legend, a
An
starlet,
icon or a moment.
icon, a star of film and screen would be one Miss Lacey Chabert.
Fucking Queen of Hallmark, bitch! Fucking Lacey Chabert's got it for all you bitches. She got one for each of you. A fucking holiday flick over here, a fucking movie over here. You better fucking watch out because Lacey Chabert's on your ass in 3, 2, motherfucking 1. So we get into the beginning of the movie, and it's like basically it's that super like rapid cut intro scene. It's the city, it's establishing shots. They're giving us a lot of information off the tops.
Yeah, we
so
get
we don't
busy.
have to have a bunch of exposition, which I appreciate.
We see that Miss Chabert, Fiona, is closing deals. She's conducting the ABCs. She is always be closing.
We get a phone call to the boyfriend who she's apparently late for dinner to meet, and this seems to be a pattern. She shows up finally, and he is much displeased. He's like very much like you see it on him. It's done. They're breaking up. He's just saying, I can't with you anymore, with your lateness, with your inability to have work-life balance. I am over it. I'm tired, and I'm leaving. So she kind of gets a pretty tough rude awakening. He's not having it with her. And then we get a phone call with her friend. Her friend's personality trait is like being on the phone. She's on the phone with her.
Yeah, she's a therapist. Her name is Angela or April or
She
Rebecca.
has no regard for patient confidentiality.
Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck
on
about
any level.
patient confidentiality. She's out here talking about how her clients are terrible and she just hates listening to their problems.
Straight off from her phone call with a friend, we get this visit from this man, Erwin.
Yeah, so Erwin is a former business associate of her father's. So Fiona, I'll just call her Fee because, you know, we're close like that.
Oh, your
So
friend.
Fee,
Friend.
so back to Erwin. Erwin is a former business associate, partners, kind of, ran in the same circle
Not
as
in the
her
gateway.
father. And they, well, maybe. So Erwin comes to Fee with a business proposal. He sees everything that she's doing here in the real estate market, and he wants in. He wants to snap up the commodity that is Fiona and put her in a place where she can shine here at his real estate investment firm. And so she's going to have, assistance and all of this, but, she has to act. She has to move fast. And he's really kind of putting a time clock here on this deal. But Fiona, she knows her worth, and she just had this breakup, and she needs to get out of the city. She needs to clear her head. She needs to go away.
She wants to go get out into nature, and she wants to experience a little bit of time by her and her parents' inn, her father's new inn. So we get kind of that moment with a friend at lunch. Art and pending decision in tow, she is headed out to Vermont to get some R&R and spend time with her parents. And just before they head out, actually, there's like a little phone call with her stepmom. And it kind of indicates that there's maybe some like tension between Fiona and her father, but we don't really get like a fully fleshed out idea of that just quite yet. But until then, they're headed out to Vermont. They're in the car. Her friend, you don't need to worry about her too much. Her one personality trait is sitting in the passenger seat. So then also, as a part of this whole situation, because I think there needs to be kind of like an event somewhere for them to go out to, and you'll see why as we get into it, but there is this thing going on in the background at an event called Maple Fair, and it's just centered around maple syrup. You'll get a lot in these movies where there's like an artisanal, sexy guy who is well versed in making wine, sexy guy who's really good at cheese, sexy guy who's really great at syrup.
Yeah, we get artisans.
Love the smell of maple syrup in the morning.
We kind of have that going on in the background. So Maple Fair, the town is called Maple Fair, correct?
I don't think so.
I think the town's called Maple Fair. And I think the fair is called the Maple Fair. I think they're doing branding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, honey. I think. Fucking get lost. So yeah, we have the Maple Fair event going on in the background. It's all very wonderful. I'm sure it smells great. As we arrive to the inn, off tops, she's out of the car. She's in a bad mood. She does not like nature. She's not vibing. She does not like nature whatsoever.
Yeah, she hops out, and we are introduced to our leading man. His name in this is Derek. Derek is the head chef here at her father's inn. The whole interaction, beginning to end, it was a mess.
Yeah, it's very prickly. I honestly, at first watch, I was wondering if he was going to be like the guy because they have no chemistry at all. Off tops, they don't like each other. In fact, I would venture to say that they seem to hate each other.
Yeah, we definitely they are pushing the narrative here in this that there is this war between the city and nature, or small town living, and
Great point.
these two are kind of the embodiments of those two for the purposes of this film, and right out the gate, from the second she opens the car door, boom, we're confronted.
This is when we get bookings are
Her dad asks if she brought his prep with him.
slow.
Trying to go get bugged.
They're not. They're not booked. They're neither booked nor blessed. And we get just a bit of that in the conversation between the stepmom, the dad, the friend who is of no importance, the brother who's also of no importance, and Lacey Chabert, who's of all importance.
Yeah, and we're also going to get a lot of weird callbacks to relationship between the brother and the odd friend Abigail, or
Abigail,
Arizona,
that was the name.
or Arizona or something.
Yeah.
It was something A.
Abigail, she is making eyes off tops. Upon exiting the mobile, she is giving eyes aggressively to the brother, and the brother is giving eyes back. Their eye fucking.
Yeah, they're pregnant now.
Their eye is pregnant.
Yeah.
So we get a little discussion in the doorway. They're shooting eyes back and forth. Fiona's catching up with her dad. Hinted at that the brother's trying to up the online presence of the inn to hopefully get more tourists in. And so we just get a little bit of that as we enter the house. Then they cut immediately to the next morning, and we're getting wood chopping on the outside by guess who? Derek.
Yeah, Derek is going to town. He's making firewood.
And she's mad. She's just ew. Yeah, she hates wood.
Yeah, not having it.
She hates wood. She hates mushrooms.
She hates the
Derek.
morning. She hates wood. She hates morning wood.
She hates Derek.
Bitch, if I don't get this birch cut.
I don't understand this idea that they're trying to give city people sleep in, especially her. She's a hard worker.
Yeah, she works hard for the money.
Is city sleeping in and slow life waking up early?
Well, so as far as quote farm life goes, most farmers wake up way before the dawn. They're up for hours before the sun rises because there's certain things that have to be done. And also, especially during spring or summer months, the second the sun comes out, it's starting to warm up. So, I mean, realistically, farmers do wake up probably earlier than the average person. But I mean, this guy isn't really a farmer.
Yeah, he's a chef.
He's a chef, and yes, he does do his farm to table thing.
Yes,
that we're going to get into, but
it hasn't quite been explained. But just to give a little insight, Derek is a chef. I believe that the family brought him on also as a part of this push to make the inn better, and he has started growing a bunch of stuff on the property, and he uses farm to table ingredients, and whatever he can't gather, he's able to get from a pretty close farms nearby.
Yeah, local farming.
It's all very dreamy.
Yeah, it's all very it's very nice. It's actually a very cool way to live.
Oh, absolutely.
If you can, and it's an admirable business model. Can make it happen. Which he's striving to, and we that becomes kind of the crux of this whole thing.
So she yells out the window, tells him to kill himself and stop chopping wood. And then immediately after, we cut to a scene where they're in the kitchen. He's chopping things,
and she's being required to donate to the Trevor Project for that.
Yeah, so she goes for the fridge because, I think what we're getting in this scene, at least how I'm getting it, is that we are showing that when Fiona's dad left the city and his job and moved out here, selling his apartment that she grew up in, in buying this in. He kind of took away her familiarity, her family home. So like this thing you would normally do when you come downstairs in the morning if you're staying at your parents' house and you grab something out of the fridge and you go for a little run or go in the living room and talk to people and have your coffee. This is a different vibe now. This is a business, and the kitchen is Derek's office, and so she reaches into his filing cabinet of fruits and veggies, and he says absolutely not.
And he also is not a fan of her dietary restrictions. His kind of thing is, oh, well, are these dietary restrictions medical? Do you have allergies? No, then they don't exist.
Then fuck off. Nutritionists aren't real, and neither are birds. This scene in the kitchen when he's telling her that diets are stupid, these Cinnabons, he actually backs up his argument in this because those Cinnabons look amazing.
To note and to clarify, Cinnabon is in no way a sponsor or an affiliate of this.
What do you call those?
The cinnamon rolls.
A cinnamon roll. There we go. I was thinking, I don't know why I thought they were called Cinnabons. Maybe it's because it's like a Kleenex. Like,
it's become synonymous with the brand name.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, can you give me a Kleenex?
Yeah. Don't paint that shit.
Oh, that looks so good. They're fresh out the oven, allegedly. They didn't do a great job at communicating that because these look cold and there's no steam.
Well, look at that pensive little vibe.
And Lacey feels the same way we do. Or, I'm sorry.
Fiona
feels the same way we do. She said, okay, you're not giving me my food, then I will take this delicious Cinnabon instead. She's eating it. It's fantastic. She knows it. She's trying to act like fugazi and like not communicate that to him, but you could tell, and I can tell.
And look at our queen here. She has a stacked lash in the morning, first thing. Oh,
she
yes.
She has a full lash on first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, Lacey. Girl.
Was he turning the oven back on?
Maybe it's like he's got an assembly line. Now he has to like reheat it to a different heat.
I thought he put... Oh, okay, the cinnamon buns are still in the table. Okay,
there's a pineapple, and it's like tilted over as if it's ready to be cut. I bet you he's making pineapple upside down cake. But he's only gotten about halfway there since it's laying on its side.
Turn the pineapples around.
Okay, all right. We get our first sighting of Chauncey. Chauncey is a neighbor that we see Fiona come across as she's running her little morning city person jog, apparently. And she runs across his property, and she sees this old man, and he's carrying bales of hay. She tries to wave or, like, smile, and he curves her. He doesn't want her hugs, or he doesn't want her waves. He doesn't want her smiles. He doesn't want anything from her. So he kind of just ignores her. That's kind of just be in the background. But this is our first spotting of Chauncey, who will come into play later.
And he may be working on a super dozer of some type in order to go wage war against the government.
Yeah, you can tell he has like really specific ideas about what do we say, like family values, I think is the official term for it. I mean,
The homo stuff.
a lot of exposed wiring in this house, I bet.
Yeah, and half of it are coming out of pieces of PVC pipe. Oh, I wouldn't be using a cell phone too close to his house.
Yeah. We get a moment where she's trying to like get this phone call to happen in front of Chauncey's, and she just can't have it happen. Another just little highlight moment of she's not plugged into her life at home the way that she would normally be. So she's like distressed. Like the anxiety has set in. She needs to do something with her hands.
Yeah,
She's only
fish out of water.
Yeah, I believe that they said at that little lunch of minimal importance that she had been broken up with him for 22 days by the time they headed out to Vermont. So like less than a month. And
Yeah.
so she probably is in the space of as one of those people, because you know those people who are like work. She needs this to soothe her, and you can totally see that all of the things that she's been ignoring is setting in on her right now. This is so cute. Oh
Yeah, it's
my
very
gosh.
magical.
It is
Yeah.
so magical. This is what I love about these movies is they do such a great job with set design, or even just wherever they scout these locations and pick them. I know they film a lot of this stuff in Toronto. It's just really beautiful the way that they have it all designed with the color scheme, and there's like this cute little greenhouse, and it's like exposed wood and the green window frames and green door on it. There's chickens outside, so you get like that contrast of like the cool white snow against the greenhouse and the chickens running around, chickens, turkeys, roosters.
So the greenhouse, it's very pretty. It's very beautiful, picturesque. There is one issue I will point out with it, that not a single thing that they're showing in the greenhouse is edible. They are all ferns, and they are all like random like office plants. Not a
Interesting.
sing and also this man is also supposed to be running a kitchen for an inn where they're feeding tens of people multiple meals a day, and they're if these even were herbs, there would be enough for like 3 meals. It's some type of fern, the one on the far right. It's very office plant. You see them, that and the one with the fat ass leaves. Those ones are like those ones are office plants foods.
Yeah, it's not Fern, it's Violet. Okay. So in the interior scene of the aforementioned greenhouse, they kind of get a moment where they're a little bit less intense with each other. Fiona comes up. Chef Derek is in there. He's tending to his ferns, and he mentions to her, shouldn't you be kind of hanging out and relaxing because of your breakup? And she's like, what the fuck, dude? How do you know about that? Apparently, the staff here is a bunch of shit talkers.
Yeah, her dad and stepmom have been running their mouths, and then the staff have been running their mouths, and so
Yeah, you need to
everybody.
borrow something from Chauncey and go over there and set shit straight.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, everybody, and so if everybody in this inn knows her business, you can rest assured that everybody in the town also does.
Well, everybody in the town is everybody in this inn.
Yeah, I think we pretty much established
They
that.
are really. This is small town, small town.
Because Chauncey's storing like 3 tons of manure and and a bunch of nitrate over on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to buy a truck.
Yeah.
And so Derek reveals to us that he's got this plan to expand the farm to table capacity of the inn, and it's kind of contingent on Chauncey, the stoic and somewhat scary next door neighbor, selling him a plot of land. And Chauncey's out on it. He doesn't like Derek. He doesn't like this new age millennial.
You know what he doesn't like?
Yeah.
The homo stuff.
Yeah. Chauncey doesn't doesn't like the people that Derek's cooking is attracting to the area and how it's changing things. So I mean,
His
his
words.
his
His
words.
exact words.
You can read into that all you want. It doesn't take much
I know
to
what it
read
means.
into. Yeah.
The homo stuff.
Yes,
We know what he doesn't
yeah.
like.
There you go.
We know what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
The homo stuff.
Yeah, popper
Yeah.
necklaces, yeah.
He hates it.
Yeah, VHS head cleaner. She's so disgusted by this.
Yeah, she hates this place.
But alternatively, this is kind of waxing poetic for this childhood home that she has, and it's understandable. It's a nice place by Central Park. Finding good real estate in New York, not an easy feat, even for somebody who does this for a living. But at the same time, it's like it wasn't your house. It was your parents' house.
Right, yeah.
Like they're
we
the
all
ones
lived
who
in
bought
it.
it. They're the ones who had to pay for it. They're the ones who had to take care of it. They're the ones that had to live there after you were off to college. You were no longer there, and she's just expecting it to like sit and wait until she's ready for it. It's one of those you kind of see the mindset in a lot of people that have quote childhood home that they grew up in, or a stable home environment like that. Is
People
this
with
like
parents
waxing?
who love them, yeah, they feel entitled to their parents' lives and homes. And so we get a little bit of that from Fiona, I think. She gives a little bit of that selfish, only child feel, which I know she has a brother, but as I said, he is given absolutely no character, personality, or lines. I think his only line is, "Hi, sister, I'm your brother." Like, it's something very, very inane or random.
Well, and he's also he was a tech guy who was out presumably in California or something, big city somewhere, and things didn't work out in the tech industry, and so he came back to basically under the guise of helping his dad save the inn.
Have to bring up the past. Why do you always want to forget it? I mean, I know you deserved a fresh start, but that was my history too.
That's why I burned my fingerprints off.
College.
Besides, it had to be done.
Her dad looks like he's on the run from the mob.
Okay, so we are at the breakfast table. Fiona comes in from her run. She walks over. She sees a couple by the fire.
And then she sees another couple by the other fire.
And it's kind of clear that she's a little bit flustered because she left New York because she wanted to stop thinking about her breakup, and she's seeing all these happy couples, and how is she supposed to forget with all this happiness going on around her? So she runs up to her friend who's sitting at the breakfast table. Her only personality trait is really just like sitting at the breakfast table.
The entire concept of going away to a quaint little romantic inn out in the country to get away from couples, I feel like that's pretty much exclusively the people that are at these type of places.
Yeah, because like, who are you spending that time with? You and your girlfriends are not going to a quaint Vermont inn on the weekend unless it's a situation like this where somebody's going through a divorce or breakup or something tragic.
Yeah, and how many of those are going to be able to be packed into one inn?
But yeah, she's basically like, couples at the inn? Absolutely not. We have to go. And her friend is like, girl, come on, just relax. Let's give it a chance. Get involved with some of the activities going on. We'll go to the Maple Fair today. We get our first moment at the Maple Fair.
I love the smell of maple syrup in the morning.
Oh my gosh. This moment of, okay, it's the establishing shot. We're at the fair now. Everybody's walking into this barn, which is apparently housing this event. There's 3 buildings in the entire town. There's this barn, there's the parents' barn, and then there's the shack that Chauncey makes explosives in. This is so cute. I would love to go to this event. There's tables set up, and
there's games.
There's like all this like fair shit going on. But what I'm interested in is there are these tables of artisanal soaps that are made from maple. There's artisanal maple to buy. There's vegetables and fruits and things. Jams. This looks like such a fun event to go to. And the man in the background looks identical to Mark Cuban.
Where?
Just under, all the way to the left. Look at this guy, and he's the one the guy's talking to. That's Mark Cuban.
Well, it's not Mark Cuban, but yeah.
Okay.
$100 mani pedi places. Oh, by the way, for my ride back to the room.
Oh, lucky me.
How are all these people living in one barn?
I think bumps.
Oh, damn.
Oh my gosh.
Shots fired?
Oh, and...
Duck, hit the ground!
As we said, there's games. They have that thing where you throw the darts and you pop balloons. Is there stuff inside of them? Is the prize inside of them, or did you get the other thing?
No, you get the thing.
You just pop the thing.
Yeah.
So she's going to do that. She gets her dart. She goes to throw it, and she looks to her left, and she sees her ex-boyfriend, Nate. He comes up, and right behind him is this woman that he is with, and you see the gag just drop across
The face crack.
Fiona, and she is horrified. She wishes that she hadn't said, "Hey, Nate, Nathaniel."
Yeah, we get the introduction here of Nate's new boo.
Yeah, Nate, honey.
Oh,
What's
ran
up?
to an old friend.
An old friend.
What that gives me, when you introduce somebody, this is your fresh ex. You've been broken up with for 23 days, and you're introducing her to your new girlfriend as, oh, hey, this is just an old friend of mine. It makes it seem like there's some overlap.
Yeah, it really starts to go, okay, I don't want them asking about dates. I like that Fiona goes, no, I'm Fiona. Fiona. And you see the poor girl, this poor potato. She gets the moment of realization of, oh my gosh, this guy who I brought to, which we find out is a town that she came to visit with her family a lot growing up. She knows Fiona's family. She knows the stepmom because she's been staying at her inn for years with her family. She brings this guy here, and his ex-girlfriend is here. So I know that throughout the movie we really focus on Fiona's side, but if I was on this other chick's side, I would be so horrified at this.
Yeah, this is the worst weekend ever. And this place that, like, is this family retreat you go to every year, this place that you love, is now, like, this weird soiled memory of this dude that you had, like, a 2-week-long relationship with, and it just blew up in your face.
This little worm.
What
He's like turned away. He doesn't want to like introduce himself again to the stepmom. He knows. She comes up. She says, "Oh, hi, potatoes.
She
hi,
says,
taters."
"Oh my."
She says, "Hi, taters. Nice to see you. You said you're bringing your boyfriend. Where is he? Is it this guy who won't look at me? Oh, Nathaniel. Oh no!" And he's like just melting in front of her. And what'd she say?
She says, "Oh my."
Oh.
Oh, it just registered on taters. Oh no.
Did he know?
I
that
wonder
it was
if
her
he
parents'
knew it was her
place?
parents' place. Yeah, that would be specifically dirty.
Well, and the stepmom seemed to recognize him, didn't it?
No, well the stepmom, yeah, the stepmom recognized
There was
him.
some ability of recognition there. Maybe it's been a photograph or something. We could assume it's just extended lore at this point.
I feel like she has seen this Nate's face, but it seemed like by his response that he was like, "Oh, it's fine for us to go there because there's no way Fiona would be there because she hates it."
Right, but he was prepared to run into her family or just like maybe dodge them. I don't know what his plan is. I don't like it. And this is the thing about him is that his first scene that he's in, his beginning scene where they break up, you're like, "Damn, yeah, you keep getting skipped out on. You can kind of understand." And there's a part of you that goes, "Okay, well maybe this story's leading to a place where she's going to try to win him back by becoming a healthier person with better work-life balance." This is the moment where it starts to shift for me, and I'm rooting against him now.
Yeah.
Because he's just kind of being like a little bit slimy.
It's a little duplicitous. It goes with the haircut.
There's a lot of product in that hair.
Yeah, it's a lot of bad product. We now have Fiona being caught up in this awkward moment here, seeing her ex, not expecting it, and she makes the ill-fated choice to say that she's also dating somebody and that she's also moving on. And the only guy, of course, that isn't her brother or her dad in this town is Derek the chef. And so he's the love of my life. He's a
I
genius.
can
We're
really
together
slow down
now.
with him. Oh yeah, like I'm so different with him. Remember all those things that you said you didn't like about me? Well, I'm not those things.
I'm all of those things for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so like yeah.
I need your help. Pretend to be my boyfriend for the.
Let me think about that. No.
What? Please let me save a little dignity here.
Oh, I've got Maple Fair this week and the food bloggers are coming. And even if I was as delusional as you are, which I'm not, there's nothing in it for me.
How about a quid pro quo? You want that field for your organic farm, right?
Okay, so now we're back at the house, and Derek is not happy with the lie. He's confused as to why Fiona looped him or wrangled him into this whole situation she has with her ex. He does not want to play along with her and be her fake boyfriend.
Eventually we get to like them striking a chord in the form of, if you pretend to be my boyfriend to make Nate jealous, then I will find a way to get Chauncey to sell you his property even though you're a fag. So we have Derek on board. This is the dreamiest shot. I don't think that we mentioned what the name of the inn is, but just to describe it a little bit, it looks like a barn covered in snow.
The inn at Swan Lake. And it is never mentioned in the movie that is what it's called. You have to glean that from signage. And,
Yeah, which is going to lead me to believe they're establishing shots that are taken at a time when our actors are nowhere near. Like, they've never seen this place. They've never been anywhere near this place. This is not the place they're shooting.
Most likely not.
No, I honestly, I would go as far as to guarantee it. In fact, I'm almost positive, the longer I'm looking at it, that sign is superimposed into this. Because I remember seeing the sign in the background. Look at it. Doesn't it look a little bit odd?
It might be. I mean, it also could. It kind of looks. It's not exactly a complex sign, so it could have just been popped up.
I feel like it was one of those like things where you get it on an editor and it's the photo and it has the spot open for you to drop in whatever your thing is, so it looks like, ooh, here's a photo of a billboard. Here's my thing on a billboard. I think that's what's here.
Work. As a side note, look at the barn. What's going on? What's that little like red thing up there?
It looks like a flag
It's
or
like
a
a-
family crest.
Okay, because it's like,
or a Trump 2024 flag.
oh, work. Chauncey's living.
Yeah. This is the inn. Look at all those pretty houses back there.
Those are the inn.
That back there.
The fucking barn isn't the inn. They're not corralling these people into a barn.
I think that's what they're trying to show. Is that it's
No.
so you're
That's insane.
So Swan Lake is back there.
The whole place is the inn, and this is the barn for the inn at Swan Lake. Maybe they have horses, livestock, or at one point in time it was probably a functioning farm. This was probably a family.
Well, that's what Chauncey's mad about.
Yeah,
that's what he's mad about.
Chauncey's got beef.
Yeah, he's mad that all these barns are being converted into.
It's not the barn. The barn isn't being converted.
Fiona's coming down the stairs. She sees her dad, and he comes over like he's been meaning to talk to her. And it's sweet. He's actually trying to be supportive, and he's like, "Do you want me to try to get Nate and his girlfriend to stay somewhere else? Like I've been calling places, no luck so far. Should I ask them to leave?" Which is kind of sweet, but she of course says no because that would be a little bit ridiculous. But in the conversation, she gets the information from him that Nate and Taters are out on a walk. So naturally, she needs to run into the kitchen to grab Derek so they can also go on a walk.
So our first real outing as a fake couple starts with a brisk walk to interfere with Nate and Tater's leisurely stroll. We get a short measuring contest between Derek and Nate, then a hastily thrown together meet cute between our lovebirds, our fake lovebirds, and the whole thing concludes with a plan to attend the Maple Fair yet again.
I love the smell of maple syrup in the morning.
It seems like this is the thing to do. There is no other option in this.
Well, this is their big event.
Yeah.
This is the main event. Are you ready?
Is there also like a general store where they can go and buy Sudafed?
She's the one asking for this whole arrangement, but he is so down. He's the one who came up with the Maple Fair plan. He's the one who came up with the Maple Fair plan.
Well, okay. Well,
Desmond Sunflower.
Desmond Sunflower. So I think it's time for us to cut the pretense here. This is very much are we having to twist this man's arm to go out with Lacey Chabert? I mean, Fiona, but Lacey Chabert is the person.
Right, like this idea.
You know what I mean? The idea that
you have to like,
bribe him.
You know, well, I don't know why I would want to pretend date you. I mean, as if it's not like
She's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment.
Yeah,
come on now.
The pretense is a little threadbare. It's kind of laughable.
Right. And you know what? Honestly, it is one of those things where you start to go, okay, maybe at about this point we can start to think maybe this no longer is about her winning Nate over again. Perhaps it's about her meeting somebody new.
I love the smell of maple syrup in the morning.
Yay!
He said what he said.
30 minutes in, I finally get the line I've been waiting for.
We get this transparent back and forth of our male love interests stuffing various fair foods into their lovers' mouths, concluding in this kind of grotesque mukbang at the pancake eating contest, where Derek doesn't get the concept of how an eating contest works and is taking these little bird bites, and Fiona is willing to lose her feet to diabetes just to beat Nate. She's chugging maple syrup. She's going down 2 pancakes at a time. She's going to town. Derek's looking over and he's like so in love with this new live and let live, loose going Fiona. He's smiling with syrup all over his stupid looking face.
And at first I went, well, what does this even have to do with like winning the guy back? Is this just like a silly moment to just have a silly moment? But if you think about it, all of the things that have been set up about her that she's uptight about, Derek is like, let me feed you cotton candy. And so he feeds her cotton candy, and then Nate's shoving the candy apple in Tater's mouth.
Oh, and there's one moment here where Nate is stuffing Tater's mouth with the candy apple, and then he notices Fiona and Derek over there. He like pulls the candy apple away from her and like drags her towards the pancake eating contest, and is like, take a break, come on. And it's like, take a break, save it for later. It's like, what? Are you saying like,
who are you
like,
telling us to take a break?
Are you saying like save room, fat ass? We got work to do.
this town, and it's one of those things where I think I've been to enough of these little towns now to where I know the truth. I get that it's idyllic and it's cute. Maybe I've seen too much of the world now and I'm bitter. Also, I just kind of feel like this place is a shithole. Like, in reality, like, the concept of this place, I understand why she wouldn't want to live here. Like, this place seems like a shithole. It really does. And honestly, I understand that all of these stop it. I understand. Look, I understand that all these establishing shots are not anywhere. Like, our actors are nowhere near them. They're purchased from a company. I get that, but they knew in this movie. No, the town that we're painting out is not that cute. We're not giving. We're not spraying. Like, I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you that they're amazing at these movies, and even in putting lipstick on the pig of this shithole Vermont town, they keep a little bit of realness in there. Like, in this barn, they're all in celebrating their big. This is this town's big event. This is going out for them. This is going out for them.
Yeah, this is the
They're all at
club.
the bar.
Yeah, they're down at the
dancing.
bar.
Yeah, they're playing games. It is a maple syrup festival. There's jars of maple syrup. There's a maple syrup tasting that we're gonna come up to. This town is a shithole. And you know what? Honestly, because
You heard it here,
I'm
folks.
gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. This is our first episode, so there's a learning curve that comes with this kind of thing. We've had to watch this movie a number of times, and we will never feel the need to prepare as much again, because I have now, this movie that was like, I want to start with this because it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite movies. It's been ruined for me, so if I sound bitter, or if I sound rude, or like I'm not a fan, like I am a fan, I love these movies. It's just I've watched this a lot now, and again, like I've seen too much. I'm a scarred woman. I've seen the world, but I love these movies. I love heartwarming shit. This place is a shithole. That's all. Shithole. What is it? Shithole.
Oh.
I like how her caricature looked exactly like her. It was just a fucking drawing. The caricature that's being done of fucking Abignal. Look, see?
Yeah, I guess
It's just fucking her.
it's actually not even her.
It was a person with soul and value.
Okay, so
Oh, fuck yeah! Oh, look at this smooth eunuch.
The most in 60 seconds will be crowned our king or queen. Ready, steady, eat.
Oh God.
The dude who is judging this is the white unsullied. Because he is bald-headed, he is pasty as fuck, and he is smooth.
Yeah, what
He
they
is
don't
smooth on front.
what they don't show in Game of Thrones is that there's like an entire clerical department of the Unsullied, and this guy is in it.
Yeah, this guy's the HR for the unsullied.
So who was it that touched you on your nowhere?
Show me on the anatomically correct Ken doll where he touched you.
Oh, you want me, huh? You're the one who stole my pancakes. Just obviously have different approaches to phones.
I have to point out, this shot of them pulling up is so pretty. The sun is coming through the trees. The sky is super blue, no cloud in sight. And because the sun is so bright, we're getting like a black silhouette of all these really like lush trees. Well, I shouldn't say they're lush. There's a couple lush pine trees, and then there's of course like the bare trees from winter. Bushes, filigree, snow on everything. Pulling up is this. I want to say it's a 1940s looking ass truck.
Yeah, it's a 50s, very farm truck,
It's
single
been
cab,
restored.
bench seat.
It's been restored very, very clearly, or kept up impeccably well. It's this incredible blue color. I just have to say that because it's just gorgeous. It's moments like this when you're watching these where you're like, oh, maybe I could live in a Vermont shithole.
Why do you feel the need to constantly distract yourself?
I'm hiding from the thoughts.
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I want to show you something.
No. Where are we going? What are we doing?
Taking a little field trip.
No. After our last talk, I think I just need a hot bath and a book.
I promise it's going to be worth it this time. But you may want to wear these.
pulling up to this grove of trees. They hop out of the truck. It's very, very beautiful. We've got clear blue skies.
It's the first thing that really encapsulates that like slowing down concept that the movie's really trying to push, because it's just like a quiet little sunset moment. It looks like they're coming straight after the Maple Fair based off the clothes. So like they pull off to the side in the cute little truck, and they hop out of the car, and she's like, "What are we doing here?" And he's like, "I'm gonna bury you here." He pulls a shovel out of the back of his truck. Just kidding. He pulls out a bucket and like this little nozzle thing, which they walk over to a tree, and it's like a tree. It's tree tapping.
Yeah, so it's tools for extracting sap that they then boil down into maple syrup, the Vermont gold. And he takes her to this special tree. It was a tree that his great grandfather had planted, and that his grandmother and then in turn grandfather and parents all harvested as well. And so it was kind of this cool family moment here, and it shows Fiona that, like her, he values family and values memories and tradition. She kind of feels like she had her childhood and her family home and these kind of traditions taken from her. And so her relationship with it's a little bitter, but she does respect and like that he values these things as well. And so we kind of get our first moment here of connection, something that you could kind of base a relationship off of.
Yeah, and bittersweet it was, the sap coming out of the tree, because I guess it's not really good until it gets boiled down yet. I don't know a lot about the process, but it all sounds very lovely. Yeah, he talks about the tree, about how beautiful it is, how it's special, its curves, its flowing branches, its teats. His grandfather used to spank another tree, now so does he. It's all very special. God, this place is a shithole. Look at this.
The town is
oh my
a
gosh, it is a shithole.
Okay, so we actually do get some more town. I'd forgotten about this.
It's because I guess, you know what it is?
It's like wine tasting, but
What it
Is
is?
that it's a syrup tasting, and so I think that we assumed that this was happening at the Maple Fair.
Yeah,
But it's just this entire town is based off of syrup.
you know what's interesting
because
though?
again, it's a shithole. If they have one good thing, they're gonna latch onto it, like that one Nebraska shithole with the Kool-Aid.
Well, you know what this place is when it's not doing this movie?
What?
This is a Color Me Mine or some shit.
This
Do
is
you-
so Color Me Mine.
Do you see like the little like shit, that some like
Yeah, it's
that
like
some
it's
punk
like
ass
these
kid.
are all the decorations, and
Yeah.
like look, there's like scarves for sale.
There's
on the
scarves
wall.
for sale.
I
You know that
stores
the
like this.
you know that the lady who owns it with her husband, who's also smooth, she runs like an Etsy shop, and where she makes scarves and sells off crap that some 5-year-old made over here.
Yeah, it's literally just like, do you make stuff of any quality? Sell it here.
She's probably got a couple other friends who have smooth husbands that they make bracelets. They make stuff out of wine bottles that say kitschy things like "It's wine o'clock." Fucking alcoholic.
Oh my
Oh
god.
Oh well, I mean, what's the likelihood that the only other two people in this town showed up to the only other place in this town?
Taters here has on a pink jacket, a coral sweater, and a pink blouse.
Yeah, they're trying to identify her as a very specific type of.
It is the only character they chose to do storytelling with through their costume design. I'm guessing. Or maybe this is just, I sometimes wonder with these, because I have so many issues with costumes in this movie. Like, Hallmark, I think that you should heed advice from me about costume design and what it means to tell a story with clothing. You have amazing scripts. You have some amazing actors. Why not have amazing costumes? And you know what? I'm not even talking about, things need to be more expensive or more elaborate. What I'm talking about is these items need to be arranged and presented on these characters in a place and time throughout the film that furthers the story. Why is this girl in pink? Why is she all prissy looking? Shouldn't Fiona have like more of a prim kind of style like this peacoat and like the cardigan and its layers and it's a little more effort and it's pink? This would make more sense for her. So then when we see later on her put on the comfy shoes to go on the walk and go have the romantic moment by the fapping tree, and we go, wow, She's truly starting to be affected by this environment. She's being affected by this love story. And then as we go on, and spoiler, when we get a whole like dress reveal moment later, it will mean something when the style is different. Yeah, so we get to this little maple syrup tasting setup in a gift shop in a hospital.
This gives me Mexican food restaurant on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, it's like lime flavored.
Or even worse, a Mexican restaurant on St. Patrick's Day, because in America we just mishmash cultures together and pay no attention to.
Yeah, and like, but this also is very spring. I feel like the people picked it because it's supposed to be spring, but it's also winter here. So what story are we telling? Where's the coziness? Again, you know what? I bet you the costume bitch did this. I bet you the costume bitch did this. Who is she?
Let's take a little pause here, though, and let's look around this room and see if we can, like, see anything.
I feel like I've seen enough. Because look at this. There is a hanger next to a hanger, and both of them have blue scarves on them. I'm pretty sure that it's the exact same type of scarf that they have Lacey Chabert wearing right here. There is a tiny little stool with a giant box that like displays. It's like one of those like merchandising boxes that like displays greeting cards. It's like this tiny little stool with a giant fucking greeting card thing on top of it. There's these weird radios up here.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that thing on top?
Yeah, it's like that's like what they play music in the store from. But there's also, it looks like there's a space back there. Okay, so it looks like there's a wall that's floated out, and behind that is a photo studio. Do you see that light?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they do passports here or whatever. Like this is, again, this place is a shithole, and I think that Hallmark is doing a great job in this scene of painting that out for us, because this is the store in town, like the store in town that isn't food. Like if you need something that isn't food, this is where you have to get it.
Yeah, lots of socks, things like that.
Yeah, it's socks. It's like those really expensive angel and like heart and like inspirational Jesus quote shit that you find a hotel or like a hospital gift shop where it's like you're having a terrible moment, you're losing a loved one. Let's gouge you in this moment and make you pay $170 for this angel necklace that's not meant to last because you're giving it to somebody who's dying and it's probably gonna break soon, but how the hell would they know, right?
Oh, what's it say on the back of that? But what's it say on the back of that necklace?
I don't know. Like, it could say anything. It could be like, get your tires changed. But yeah, so they're in the hospital gift shop eating syrup out of a trough. I mean, what is there to say about this place? What else can we say? I mean, it is just a mess. Why are there oven mitts on the wall? Why are there oven mitts on the wall? Why is there a sign and a door back there that says office, but it looks like it's written in like spooky old English writing?
So what this place is, and the fact that there's like these weird dining tables in here is also bizarre. I understand it's probably
and they're wood, so it's not something that collapses. These are wood tables.
Yeah,
and the chairs are wood. These are here.
This is the physical embodiment of Etsy. This is just
just shit.
It is
Look,
stuff.
There's a Mexican blanket on the wall.
Yeah, it is tchotchkes. It is
everybody in town who's like going through a thing, and they're like, I'm gonna reclaim my life. I'm gonna start making jewelry. This is where they take it and they sell it, and it is a mess here.
This is where the items of that have been made in the afterglow of every divorce, every parent getting sick, every downfall in life that needed to be triumphantly overcome, and so they started making bracelets or beading or crochet. Yeah.
So we see Derek starting to get Fiona to open up to like the understanding of the art of syrup making. She's kind of scoffing at first at this whole idea of, are you supposed to be like a sommelier for syrup? And he's like, basically, yeah, what would you do with wine? For a second, smell it, swirl it, taste it, do the thing, drop it down low, all of it. And as this conversation is happening, we see Nate sitting there with taters, and he will not stop looking over at Fiona and Derek. Like, he's all up in it. But, noticeably, Fiona is no longer checking for him. They're not thinking about in this moment. They genuinely seem to be having a good time. Up until Derek does point out that Nate's staring. So we're kind of like brought back to reality. It's kind of one of those like, we're in the moment, and then brought down to reality. Nate obviously,
Yeah.
or Derek obviously wins this contest. It's kind of cheating since he's a professional, but whatever. Rules don't matter apparently. Tickets to the dance. They're excited, and they're obviously gonna go together.
Yeah, and Taters and Nate are well. No, Taters is perfectly happy with this.
Taters is
She's
wonderful.
she's just trying to have a fun weekend. She's got no pretense about any of this. She's just trying to show this guy that she likes, this place that she's enjoyed since she was a child, and is having all of those things crushed by his insufferable attitude.
Yeah, and Fiona definitely is. She's not being like a hater on this girl. She's not like trying to ruin her life, other than like stealing her new boyfriend. But she does say
After all, AIDS is a deadly, incurable.
I'm sorry, my cat just hopped on the soundboard. She says that Taters is pretty, and I think that just is very nice. It paints a good picture of Fee.
How about you get to the point? The hungry sheep waiting.
Right. I wanted to discuss my client's offer to buy a field.
Never gonna happen.
You're growing weeds. I've asked around town.
I make a lot of money off those weeds.
It's a solid offer. Why not sell to Derek?
Attracting the wrong element. With his fancy cooking.
The homo stuff.
The homo stuff.
He's attracting the wrong element with his fancy cooking.
Change in this valley. It's not for the better.
You and your type are changing this valley, and it's not for the better.
The homo stuff.
Yeah, he
He
is not a
hates it.
fan.
He hates it.
He does not live. He does not feature.
Yeah, he's talking about how it attracts the wrong type of people, these city folks, the valley's changing. He insists traps are gay. He's just being away.
Your fancy scarf snagged.
You're fancy. You're fancy
Yeah, everything's
scarf and
fancy.
your-
Everything is fancy. to him.
Everything that isn't fucking garbage is fancy to this guy. because
Everything
he's
that
probably-
not everything that isn't fucking sheep is garbage. to
No,
this guy.
honestly, I'm gonna keep it real quick. I'm gonna keep it real with Chauncey. Chauncey, who the fuck are you to talk about what the wrong type of people are? You're a shady character. You're dressed in these disgusting, holy, ragged clothes in your decrepit property filled with weeds and mice and nastiness. You wear that gross hat, which has God know what smell inside of it.
Trapped.
Everything is oily. Look at the oil stains all over the jacket. You're rude. You're lonely. No one lives in that house with you. You just make explosives all day.
I'm sure someone lives in that house with him, but not voluntarily.
Extended lore. Chauncey's a fucking Jomo.
Yeah, Chauncey's the Zodiac.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking pervert and he's a freak. And he's trying to like project this thing of like, oh, people who have scarves that aren't oily, gross shit rags. People who have scarves that they don't wipe with. People who have scarves that they haven't strangled hookers with at truck stops.
Yeah, he's definitely the I-5 killer.
When you go into your little fucking rant about fancy people and how they're bad, just know that fancy people don't like you either. This shithole house in all of its decrepitness, lacking window panes, lacking fucking siding,
Lacking glass in the windows.
lacking glass in the windows, lacking any type of appeal. Yeah. So I don't really know how I feel about Chauncey.
You and Derek?
Are there no secrets in the state of Vermont?
Come on, if it impacts the inn, it's my business. We got those food bloggers coming in a couple of days, and Derek has to be focused. Future of the inn could be.
Okay, the food bloggers are officially
Secrets
coming.
in-
There's food bloggers coming.
Look,
Hopefully it'll
I
generate good
got a
publicity for the
raccoon
inn.
situation out at the carriage house. So.
Hey, ready to eat? Hey, you know, Dad, do you want to join us?
So now comes the reveal of Fiona in a Windsor dress.
Yeah, this
And-
is supposed to be her nice dress. This is her Eton dress.
Yeah, this is her good Eton dress. And we get the growing connection between her and Derek. They're sitting there at the dinner table. They're having connection. She's worried that that he needs to get back to the kitchen to help out with his new sous chef.
Considering
but
that
he-
his stuff is actually important,
Yeah.
so dismissing everything about him.
Yeah, being considerate, and he's also being considerate, saying, no, this is more important, being here with you. So Nate can't stop looking over at the table, and Taters is getting heated, and Derek and Fiona, they've they've forgotten all about them.
Yeah, I have a couple things I want to go through in this scene. Why is everyone in blue? I know that I'm going back to the clothes thing again. Why is everyone in blue? Why is everyone in blue? All three women are in blue. The stepmom is in blue, Fiona is in blue, and Adelaide is in blue. Nate is in blue. What is going on? This one is this like everybody is in blue here, and this is why I'm complaining about this. Blue is my favorite color. I have no problem with blue.
Everywhere you look, there's a blue.
He's wearing blue. The dad's wearing blue. The dad is also wearing a blue shirt.
Forgivable.
What
I'm
do
sorry.
these clothes say about these people? Why is everyone in blue? And it's like, it's without any rhyme or reason, and like colors clash with each other. Everybody's in blue. None of them are corresponding shades. Everybody looks like they're going to a different party. Why is everyone in blue? Why isn't there any consideration towards, oh, the therapist friend has this kind of non-personality, like she would probably dress like this. Fiona, she's this type of person, she would dress like this. There's no consideration done whatsoever. It takes this great movie and it brings it down a rung because you're not considering the full world. It doesn't help me get lost in this.
The green in this jacket that the father is wearing it's kind of putrid. It's kind of hard to look at.
Yeah, like where is the
yeah.
remnants of the city guy who's like attempting to become more Vermont?
Yeah, this doesn't say anything about him as a person.
Doesn't say New Life.
His whole character is a little bit confusing. It's kind of this like I think I most accurately described it as he seems like he's in the Witness Protection Agency, or to be all Gilmore Girls about it. That weird guy who they only address once.
Oh yeah, the one time. What was his name?
I don't know, the weird dude who lives behind Lorelai.
Yeah, he comes and tells her to water the plants.
It's
kind of like her impetus for Rory and Jess like kissing in the water that moment.
Yeah, I don't know that she was impetus, but
They make a pill for that anyways.
Yeah, it's all good. And that is also blue.
If they had removed the storyline with the friend and the brother in the background, maybe we could have gotten a little bit more time with dad and her getting to work out their issues and like him getting to have more of a personality and just be a little bit more of a character in it if we weren't needing to also factor in all these scenes with her soundboarding to her friend with stuff that we're able to surmise from the setups.
I thought that was on the movie. I was like, oh, shots fired.
Yeah, well, fucking Lacey.
They're in the hood.
Bitch, Lacey Chabert's here, motherfucker.
Get down.
Yeah, fucking Lacey Chabert. She's got one for every fucking one of you. That's why the cops are rolling up. Because they know these fucking tactics. Her and Chauncey, they're going head to head, and Lacey Chabert's gonna lay that motherfucker out. Derek is in blue. Why is the chef in blue? Or this fucking sous chef in blue? Pulling out Cinnabons in the kitchen in blue. More blue. I don't want to beat a dead horse. But where's my bat? Because I have more to say about the blue. When she's out on her run, she comes across Nate, her ex-boyfriend. He has an aggressive, visible penis line in this scene. So that's kind of cool for any of you. Yeah, see? Mound.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's shot from the side, and he's in these, like, thin sweatpants.
Yeah, he's got his cod piece on, yeah.
Yeah, I bet you that this is a prosthetic.
Prosthesis?
Yeah, I bet you it's a prosthetic. They get like that at Hallmark. They really want you to like beef.
You know, do you notice like the bump it that she has going on too?
She
has like a lazy like throw and go pony. It's very like, oh, I'm working out, but yet
even
she
her
has
tousled
like
hair is nice, and that's her. That has nothing to do with these people on wardrobe and hair.
Work.
This is her.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
She is the queen.
She does always have volume in the hair.
So, how's the whole moving back home thing going? Are you enjoying living with it?
Yeah, for now. No, I wouldn't mind getting back into the action. First, I wanted to make sure Dad's DNA is a success.
Such a nice guy. No wonder I always liked you. You know, when we were kids, I didn't chug my snow bones such as anyone.
Well, I pulled the hair of girls that I liked.
Do you want to have a break later, and we can go into town, put up some more flyers, and maybe find a place that sells stuff?
As a side note, we get the quick stop by the B storyline, which is April and Fiona's brother. And she's over here just spitting the weirdest type of game at the brother, and he reciprocates by spitting an even stranger variety of game back. It's very much like this elementary school. I always thought you were cute. Yeah, I only put gum in the hair and physically assaulted the opposite sex that I was actually attracted to. Tee. It's very bizarre. It is a major detractor from the story. There is literally only one reason why this whole plot exists, and we will see it at the end of the movie.
And even then, it still makes no sense.
It's a easy way to tie up an otherwise sloppy.
You're tying up a story that you're tying up a
We'll
loose
get
end
there.
that
We'll
you
get there.
made.
We'll get there.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm fucking.
We get this inspiring moment of trespassing and vandalism set to Bubbly, our leading lady and leading gentleman, accompanied by the B storyline, break into Chauncey's farm to build a new fence, and our little team here can't wait to see how Chauncey reacts to this this act of kindness from these strange northerners.
Starts in my toe.
And Chauncey right now is plowing the south field, meaning that he's having sex with a sheep. So this is going to be very nitpicky and stupid. The lumber that they're using for the posts is completely wrong. It's going to rot really quickly. You should be using pressure treated for anywhere where lumber is making contact with the ground. The fact that they're mixing this cement in this bucket instead of just getting post cement that you pour into the hole and then add water to is kind of idiotic. The technical depth for a fence post is 1/3 of the overall height, and seeing as these things were 3 inches tall to begin with, I don't really see how this is going to be much of a fence.
Dad's wearing blue with a blue sweater. Blue button up with blue sweater.
Illuminati confirmed.
This is driving me up the fucking wall. Fiona is in a purple shirt with purple gloves, with a purple scarf, and a purple jacket. Her dad is doing blue shirt, blue cardigan. The girlfriend of Nate, every time we see her, it's 18 layers of pink. Do you know that you can put multiple shades in one outfit? The eye can travel. Not everything needs to look like Little Kim's Crush on You video. This isn't Say My Name, Destiny's Child.
Oh, I wish it was.
Do all these people just like watch the same YouTube channel and get the same styling tips? These 3 people who are supposed to be nothing alike? Where is the fucking concept? Ew.
Show us on the doll where the costume designing hurt you.
I just got a phone call from Chauncey.
Oh, was he excited?
Not exactly. He was furious. You didn't by any chance rebuild his fence?
Wait, he wasn't happy? What is wrong with this place?
I mean, people up here are proud and self-reliant.
And ugly.
That's not the...
So, Fiona's coming in from outside. Her dad approaches and is kind of concerned and wants to know if she by chance rebuilt Chauncey's fence because, we have some breaking news here. Just live reporting from the field. The paranoid loner Unabomber is upset that someone broke onto his property and messed with his fence.
She is shocked at this. She's surprised that this person that has told her repeatedly that he wants nothing to do with her, that he thinks that her friends, their drag show that they're trying to put on, it's all wrong and perverted and gross. Oh, I was on your property alone with your pig cow for several hours, messing with your stuff, moving your explosives, touching your fake IDs.
So we get the arrival of Prince Charming. He pulls up in a horse-drawn carriage, and we get Fiona mentioning the title of the movie, which is Moonlight in Vermont.
Just Moonlight in Vermont is a famous song by Frank Sinatra. And they actually play it here at this dance in a moment. We get the most, to me, important moment in this entire movie, which is the arrival of Derek on the carriage. It's beautiful. This is why we watch Hallmark people. This is where these movies go into the territory of being art. This is art. It's evoking an emotion in me. I feel very strongly looking at it. Let me paint you a picture. So it's the out front of the inn, and it's from a perspective we haven't really seen before because it's looking down the driveway from the house. There's of course all the trees out there. It's the middle of fucking nowhere. There's snow on the ground. There's a path up to the driveway. It looks like cobblestone of some variety, lined with hedges. There's some filigree in a center little island, which houses the inn sign, and it's a circular driveway. So up along the one side comes a horse-drawn carriage. It's a big black horse, and it's got like the big pom-pom feet. The carriage is white, and there's like a coachman on it. And it is just, this is why I love these. They are just, it's so beautiful. Like, it's an all encapsulating joy and warmth. And Lacey Chabert communicates this thing so beautifully. And she just sells the fuck out of this. This is her art. Like, creating something that is joyful. Her art makes people happy, and she's happy making that. And I just fucking love her for it. And it's in these moments where you go, this is a fairy tale. This is what it's about.
it's fairy tale. We have Clydesdale or a draft horse pulling a white carriage, and a man with a top hat driving it, and it's lovely. There's this like a hazy filter, that gives wintry a cold crisp. There's snow on the ground. It's very Snow White. It's very it's very fairy tale.
Yeah,
it's
she's a
very
princess. But it's just really beautiful. They're headed off to the dance now.
So here at the dance, we have slow songs playing. Fiona and Derek are dancing, and it's very lovely. They're not paying attention at all to Nate and Taters, but Taters has caught Nate just staring, just mad dogging over there. And this poor girl who's just trying to have a vacation and trying to like get to know this guy that she's dating and likes, and she's just watching him like fawn and be weird all over his ex. And so she storms off. She can't, she's done. She has had. And then of course in true scumbag fashion, he rushes over to Fiona to say, "Oh, I was gonna leave.
Taters no more.
I was gonna break up with her anyways, but I mean, it guess like she beat me to the punch. So do you want to get back together? Because like you're not all lame now. You look like you have balance that I need, and you could be the person that I want."
I think that like Derek sees it kind of out of context. So he starts kind of like throwing attitude, and they leave, and he's being very like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, he's being a little sedity. He's being a little, well, looks like everything worked out. Kind of.
You got what you wanted.
You got what you wanted, and
the money's on the counter. Get out.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Why not?
Because I haven't held that line into the bargain yet.
It's okay, I'm letting you off the hook.
What if I don't want you to?
But my feet are planted here, and yours are in New York. That's just who we are, right?
Of course, but...
And you deserve everything you worked so hard for.
Yes, young man. I completely agree.
But Erwin, what are you doing up here?
Okay, compounding this argument also, as they pull up on their horse-drawn carriage that they had just so recently driven off in so happy together, they arrive disgruntled and step out to see Erwin, if you remember him from the beginning of the movie, the guy who offered her the big new job opportunity that would make her life even busier and even more hectic, greatly contrasting all the growth that she just had here. But hey, Derek's kind of shaking her off, so what's going to happen? He's literally here to show her, I drove out to Vermont from the city to show you how valuable you are, and then Derek's like, kind of being sedity with her.
This Erwin character is kind of her ghost of Christmas future. He was just recently married, now he's divorced.
Yeah, that's
couldn't even make it last a year, kind of thing.
In that first conversation,
because he's so busy. We're seeing this look into the future of, if I keep on going down this road, I'm going to be very wealthy. I'm going to be very powerful.
You're going to have a receding hairline.
But I'm going to have a receding hairline and be alone.
Be lonely and have the time on a vacation weekend to drive out to Vermont to harass someone about more work.
Returning to the scene of the crime?
At least you didn't tear it down.
Well, I thought about it. Darn thing's too well built.
Honestly, sir, we were just trying to do something nice. I'm really sorry that we overreached. I'm actually headed out of town soon, but I gotta hand it to you. You're on a very, very short list of sellers, so I couldn't budge.
So,
Yeah.
The inn is having a dinner tonight. It's really done for the purpose of all the bloggers that had been mentioned earlier that the brother was rallying up from his new canvassing of the internet. These bloggers are coming out for the weekend and they're staying there to experience the inn and they're going to have a big dinner. So Fiona makes her way over to Chauncey's to apologize for the vandalism and the breaking and entering and for stealing his bag. She's going to invite him to the dinner. And she asks him if he wants to come to the drag show. Everybody say love.
So after our meeting with Chauncey, we cut to the morning of the social media douchebag dinner, and a truck jackknives and closes off the road, keeping the kitchen staff and last-minute ingredients from reaching the inn. The whole gang bands together under Chef Derek's direction to provide an elevated classic Vermont meal.
I don't cook, but something I could not take my eyes off of in this montage is how much no one can cook. Particularly, Lacey Chabert almost clean removes a finger. It's, if anybody's ever seen the clip of Kendall Jenner trying to cut the cucumber, it's that.
So Buffalo Bill drops in from next door to check out this fancy cooking, and everybody else is shocked. Nobody knew that Chauncey was going to be turning up here at this event.
Yeah, he
And
brought singles though.
after everything wraps up, dinner is a success, judging by Chauncey's change of heart on selling the land.
Yeah, we
you
really
know?
don't see the dinner, but the fabulousness is implied, yeah, by the change of heart.
Yeah, he has a change of heart on selling the land.
He says
he's
this
also
is the
willing.
best dinner I've ever had.
He's also willing to support gay marriage now. So Fiona and her dad have a little moment. Fiona discovers that it was actually her mother's idea to come out to this inn. Her mom had died while she was off at college, and she thought that her dad just went, oh, okay, well, now that she's dead, I'm out of here, and sold off all their stuff and dipped. But in reality, he was just trying to honor her mom's wishes. And this is wild to Fiona because for her whole life, her mom had always struck her as this super city gal, just like her, and wanted to be in the middle of things and the hustle and bustle. But in reality, she was ready to go and have a slow life and to settle down and to be able to spend more time with her husband and her kids and not be so caught up in the race. It's a very nice moment for these two to be able to kind of come back together and go, this is all of that past that we were hanging on to and not discussing. Now we can kind of take the parts that we love about it and that we remember and let all the animosity go.
As the dinner is wrapping up and between all the stuff with Fiona's dad and so forth, we're starting to get this vibe between Fiona and Derek because they obviously banded together to make this dinner happen and kind of put their differences aside for that. But it seems like their conflict is kind of melting away because, again, experience as a couple, you just naturally work through things when it's supposed to be your person or whatever. So that's why the next morning, before Fiona's supposed to leave, we get stopped by the tree. Derek is there. He's fapping it under the tree. He's looking at its curves and its tree teats, and Lacey stops by. Fiona stops by.
But who can tell where Lacey ends and Fiona begins?
That's where the actress is so good. Oh, and she says yes to Erwin. So for right now, we're getting a temporary yes. But she seems like she's just ready at any moment if Derek just says something that she'd stay behind. Fiona's friend is staying behind. She's going to stay and just kind of bang the brother and give up her corrupt therapy practice that's fronting for
she's not staying behind.
That's what she says right here.
No, it's an impossibility.
That's what she says. She said, I'm going to hang out here for a while.
Oh, I'm going to hang out here for a while, except that your brother is moving and taking over your place.
We haven't got there yet, though. As of right now, as everything stands in this exact moment,
that's non-canon.
Lacey is saying, no, it's literally happening right now. Lacey is saying, Fiona's saying, me and Derek aren't working it out. We're not working it out. I'm going to go. And then she tells her friend, are you ready to leave? And her friend's like, no, I think I'm just going to hang back for a little bit. And she had told Erwin that she's taking the job. So on her way out of town, she was going back to accept the job and go back to work without her friend, she stops by the tree. So, honey, if you want to oh, what?
But yeah, we get to stop by at the maple tree, and Fiona kind of breaks it down that during this time that she's been here, she's realized that it was the people that made the place. She had thought that her childhood home was the most meaningful place on earth because of its physical existence, but the reality was it's where her and her mom got to share their life together, where her and her father got to share their lives. It's more about where the people are, and she's finding that Derek is that person that is also making a place special for her.
Yeah, she's in this place, created memories already, and she started the cycle of building new memories and creating things that are just special. And so she's got a little more hope for it, and so that explains why she's willing to stop by this tree and make the leap and tell Derek, hey, I like you, and I'd like us to be together. And that's kind of what happens here. It's very sweet, and there's a beautiful kissing scene.
We get the kiss.
It's the kiss.
The kiss.
It is the kiss.
The kiss. So, a Hallmark staple is going to be the kiss. So it generally happens towards the end of the movie, and there's only one. So like the movies are never super graphic and explicit and need to be this.
There's never a fuck scene.
Everything's got to be this physical thing all the time. It's just a nice sharing of affection with a nice kiss, and we're done.
Hallmark is very much not porn.
Actually, I believe it's their new motto: Hallmark, not porn.
So we get the kiss, and coming back to the house, we get one last scene with the whole family, and she's telling her dad that she's going to stay, and she's switching places with her brother. So her brother and her friend, who she came with, are going to take over her apartment in New York, and she's going to stay and work at the inn for the family. And I guess she called Erwin, told him to go fuck himself. Closing here, we get this lovely shot. And this must be the actual inn part. I've never seen this. It's been a barn every time. I feel like they've shown
It was in the background.
They have shown a different.
It was in the background of the barn
every single time. I have never seen.
Yeah,
this.
I've never seen this one.
I've seen the close up by the front door. I've seen the perspective from the front door. It is beautiful. When you go
there's
to
a little
Hallmark
wisp
store,
there's a little wisp of smoke coming out of the
yes,
stacks.
there's like steam coming out of the chimney, and all the windows are lit up with these warm lights, and the inn sign is off to the corner. There's snow just on the roof lining everything. It just instantly looked cozy. Like I want to go in there and have hot chocolate. It looks like a Hallmark card. It looks like when you go to a Hallmark store and you see the window displays of the little glass towns. And then finally, as we go into the interior shot, they're sitting by this fire in these big-looking chairs with a good, like, heavy hardwood table in front of them. Fireplace going in the background. They're both wearing blue.
And they're having some dessert with, of course.
I love the smell of maple syrup in the morning.
It's like waffles with chocolate and syrup over it. And the last scene is them leaning in for a kiss. We don't get it, of course, because it's just one kiss. That's okay. Fades out on them about to kiss.
Yeah, right in front of the fire.
In front of the fire. It's just so gorgeous. Moonlight in Vermont. Moonlight in Vermont. Moonlight in Vermont. Moonlight in Vermont. Can we give it up for Moonlight in Vermont? If you want to check that out, obviously it's on we use Prime Video.
And we're subscribed to the Hallmark Movies Now
I think they have their own streaming service. We're in the digital age. If it means so much to you,
you'll find it.
Yeah, and likely you already have because you're listening to this. But I think we'll stick with this format. We'll come back next week. We'll do another one.
Now, before we go though, in true spirit of reviewing, we need to give our rating for Moonlight in Vermont.
Okay. So I guess star system 1 through 5.
Yes.
I would give this movie, I think, an erect 3 or a flaccid 4.
Okay.
Because I don't like Derek.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I honestly...
You don't see the chemistry, or...
No, Lacey Chabert can cultivate chemistry with anybody she wants to. And she does.
Yeah,
she's professional. And he is a good actor, and it's the character on the page that I don't like. The actor's great, he's handsome, he's a perfect Hallmark guy. I haven't seen him in a lot of these. or maybe I'm just blanking out on other ones I've seen him in. I don't know if I've seen any of his other movies. He's great. Honestly, he's great. He's playing the part that he was given perfectly. I just don't think that this character showed enough like value for somebody else. She came around so much, and I felt like his character was
Okay,
very
there
much
was
like,
no coming along from him.
yeah, meet me where I'm at. I don't really know that I particularly love the one-sidedness of it. That's just a personal preference, though.
That's
So yeah,
fair.
I'd say an erect 3, a flaccid 4.
Yeah, and so for me, my review on this, I'm going to go with a strong 3. This is a 3. Truly and solidly, it is not a 2. It is not a 4. It is a 3. Now, that's not bad. A 3 is going to be, it is a good movie. It is
Yeah.
a solid movie. But for 4 and 5, what I'm looking for is rewatchability. I'm looking for, it's a classic that I want to watch at least once per year at a specific time. It gets me grounded into a season or a holiday or some specific type of feeling.
Right.
And this one really doesn't rise to that level or meet that bar.
I think that the town is a shithole.
For me, the other part of what makes it a 3 and what I look for in something that's going to be a 4 or a 5 is going to be the supporting characters.
Yes.
This movie has 0 in the way of supporting characters. The other people are just there. They merely exist.
You won me over. It's a 3.
Yeah. Thoroughly and solidly a 3.
Because the overalls, I think, actually had shit on them.